So, welcome. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure being here today. This is personally the partnership I look forward to every year the most, which is the one with our friends at Little Fish Comic Book Studio. And this year for Festivale 2020, they're partnering with us for a wonderful movie called Mio fratello rincorre i dinosauri. My brother chases dinosaurs. It's the last movie of our Festivale 2020, and we're closing it with a bang in terms of the partnership that we have with Little Fish Comic Book Studio. So I'm happy to introduce you to Alonso Nunez, who is the founder of Little Fish Comic Book Studio, and he'll walk us through the art that his students prepared for this partnership. And thank you, Alonso.
Oh, great. Thank you, Deanna. I know that we feel the same way at Little Fish. It's always such a pleasure to join you guys for this partnership. The films that the San Diego Italian Film Festival selects in general are just fantastic. I love catching as many as I can, time allowing. And then it's always a great one to see which one's been selected for our students, and then to see what they put into it creativity-wise. I thought we'd start with this one. This poster was done by Nikita. Nikita is joining us via Zoom. And Nikita did the poster this year. And we realized that Nikita has now done posters for all 5 years of the festival partnership. And I think when we do eventually make an online gallery, we'll have to have a separate wing just for Nikita's contributions. So did you want to say a couple words about yours, Nikita?
So I think the thing with mine is that progressively over the years, I've been leaning more and more into symbolism rather than just straight up like, here's a shot of the main character and here's a shot of some important scene. I feel like I've been leaning more into the more symbolic things. Like last year with The Man Who Bought the Moon, it was a moon in a shopping bag. Whereas this year, it's the two brothers going after the shadow of the dinosaur. So I feel like I'm just having fun going less and less obvious, maybe with the interpretations, but just I've always liked the more symbolic movie posters, so I think it's more fun to do them like that, especially since with the artistic thing, I don't have to worry about including this main star front and center on the movie poster.
Exactly, Nikita, right? It's fantastic. I love the rendering. I love the shadow. I wanted to bring up now two of our students who are actually here in studio. You know, during this time, a lot of Little Fish's classes are hybrid. So we have, for example, on Tuesday, Nikita was joining us via Zoom, and we have two students in studio. So I wanted to bring up first Curran to talk just about kind of his process and doing a poster for the first time here at Little Fish.
Hello, I'm Curran Hoffman. I'm one of the students at Little Fish.
Hi, Curran.
And I don't know, I made a poster for the movie.
What was it like, Curran?
It was
a poster for the first time.
It was an experience. I definitely challenged me, or is challenging me, because I'm not done with it yet. But yeah, it's definitely a very good experience because I'm just now starting to get serious into art, like seriously into art. And yeah, it was a really good experience. I joined Little Fish about, I don't know, 5-6 months ago, and I've definitely learned a lot through it. It's been a great experience.
Thank you. All right, and next I wanted to bring up Annie, another student. I think Annie, you joined about the same time as Curran, right? I think you guys
yeah.
a little bit later. In addition, I'm going to embarrass Annie a little bit. Annie was recently one of the runner-ups in the International Graphic Shakespeare competition in her age group, 15 to 22, I think, was her age group. So it was really cool. There was a winner and then Annie. So well done, Annie. So
Congrats.
Okay, so,
go ahead and sit down.
hi.
Ooh,
Should
I concur. Clapping emoji.
Gosh, what do
How did you approach this poster?
Oh gosh, I'm like in the middle of making it right now. It's still kind of a rough draft, but oh gosh, the movie just kind of had this just kind of aura of joy and just kind of brightness and like just kind of showed you like I don't know, like just kind of the really beautiful parts of like I don't like these two brothers' lives, and it was really pretty, and I'm trying to emulate that in my poster with like the color palette and just kind of the subject matter. It's a really lovely movie, and I'm super excited to be making a poster for it. So yeah.
Awesome. And Annie's, I'll put Annie on the spot. Annie's will be done for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way to make deadlines official.
Wait, this Friday or next Friday?
This Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think she thinks that's cool, Alonzo.
I know, right? That was a sarcastic cool, right? So here's some of the other posters. This one was done by Savannah, who's in our Saturday digital art class. I love this one. I love the lighting. I love the kind of childhood kind of innocence of it, you know, in the approach. This one was done by student Kira, also on Saturday. This is Braden, a Saturday digital drawing student as well. And this one is by Ariana, who is also joining us via Zoom. So Ariana impressively finished this poster. She just started her freshman year of college in a year unlike any other. And Ariana, for you, I know, you know, art is more of a kind of passion hobby as opposed to this is definitely what I'm doing in my life. So how is it kind of working on something like this, jumping into this during this kind of crazy time?
Yeah. So designing this during, you know, during everything that's going on right now was definitely it was a really interesting experience just because this was also one of my first times designing a movie poster that would be like used for a movie. But it was also very, like Alonzo mentioned, art is a passion hobby for me. For me, it's very relaxing in a way for me to kind of like wind down from everything that's stressing me out. So it was really interesting having this be a movie poster that would be used, but also having it be something that I was doing as a way to have fun and to really be involved in a hobby that I genuinely enjoy doing and spending my time with. So yeah, that was definitely a really interesting and fun experience for me to be designing this movie poster.
It turned out fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
And then this is the last of the ones that we have right now. This is by Little Fish student Angela. Angela is, as we have begun joking at the studio, the hipster of Zoom. Angela often was joining Little Fish via Zoom and kind of digital hangouts well before COVID. And I think she feels annoyed that we're all in her space now. Angela, I think, has done 4 posters the last 4 years. chasing after Nikita. And with this one, I just want to talk about one part of it. She did a kind of like a dive into the experience of being someone with Down syndrome. And you know, sometimes there is kind of macular degeneration of the eye. There's vision problems, and the way that often shows up is kind of spotting around the cornea. And so she wanted to kind of approach that while also using, obviously, dinosaur footprints. So she kind of married the two together in a way that I thought was fantastic. And as with all students who did posters, right, artists, each and every one of them, as they finished, they said, what do I need to change? And I said, Angela, it's fine. It's great. Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
I just want to say, well, of course, thank you all. These are always amazing. And some of you have pointed out the piece of the joyfulness and I'm also happy that you shared that this was something positive to do and joyful for you to do in this moment. So I think that that is, in a couple of ways, something that speaks to all of us. So one, I think we can all talk about the importance of the arts in our daily lives, and in the recent months probably that became even more so clear because we all found some breath, and you know, we were able to decompress from the news and from everything that's happening around us, either by watching a movie or drawing or listening to music or so all of these, thank you, because I think it just reinforces that. And also the fact that you may know that, I know Alonso knows for sure, but I don't know if you all know that the theme of the Festivale this year is activism. And when we selected this movie, we thought that it was really speaking about something that, again, it's really important as disabilities, for example, in a tone that it's light, still very impactful, and still very meaningful, and something that can resonate with many of us in general. And I think that your posters really captured that. So thank you, congratulations. All of these are truly amazing pieces of art.
Thank you.
You know, one of the things I'm really struck by is that these responses are incredibly cross-cultural. It's clear that these artists are responding to a piece of art from another culture and interpreting it in ways that are clearly understandable and joyful for all of us. And I just really appreciate that a lot. I just find this exciting that way.
Yeah, it was really cool for me to see. You know, I always kind of screen the movie in advance. That way I feel like I have maybe some kind of signposts I can give students in terms of how to approach it. Other movie poster designers to kind of look at. And I like that some of the students took some of the color palette from the original movie poster. And other students, right, Ariana's didn't, but has that kind of joyfulness to it, and the energy and life and vitality of the film. This, you know, maybe it's 2020, maybe it's the film, maybe it's a combination, but My Brother Chases Dinosaurs really, I feel like more than even a lot of the movies we've done, really resonated with the students and kind of spoke to them. And so I want to thank the film festival for selecting such a fantastic movie for this year. You know, it is so, you know, it's a you know, reducing it down more than I'm usually comfortable with. You might call it a slice of life film, right? But it is fantastical in its own way, right? When you look at the kind of optimism and the viewpoint, that kind of optimism is extraordinary and gives a certain life and freedom to kind of explore and move in different directions with.
One of the things that occurs to me, Alonso, is that this film is about the imaginary, about creativity. I mean, we want to see it as two brothers who are inspiring each other. But what's really going on is that the visions of a person, regardless of what kind of capacities they have, can be inspiring for other people. And I just find that an important, not just simply a message, but a way of lifting us up and of being creative ourselves.
Yeah, I completely agree, Victor. I absolutely agree.
And also how these two young characters are really able to teach a lot to not just to kids their age, but to all of us in general. So, and yeah, I love just looking at these at this art. Is just the colors and everything just speaks more than words, and more even that the actual poster, I think, of the movie.
Yeah, it's the I'm always each year is different. Each poster is different in terms of do I want to introduce that as a point of reference for the film, but I liked the movie poster because it showcased the cast while also kind of playing up some of the fantasy that is kind of inherent in his mind. But like I said, I feel like it gave a lot of jumping off points in a lot of different directions for students, from Angela's piece to Nikita's piece, very different palettes, but just as, like Nikita said, playing around with symbology and kind of more abstracted representation as opposed to literal depictions, like Nikita said, of like doing art pieces like this. We're not tied to showcasing the stars in a way that will make their agents happy, right, or keeps them recognizable. Nikita can just have a great velociraptor showcased. Ariana, was this the first movie poster that you had done for this?
I think, yeah. I think in the past I tried, but I never met the deadline. So, yeah, I think I was really dedicated to wanting to finish this one, just because this one seemed like a really interesting and very joyful, but also still light movie that talked about disabilities and being able to talk about it in a very positive way. So I was really excited to get this one finished. And I was like, yeah, again, I enjoyed the process, and it was really fun and interesting for me.
Are all of these digital?
Yeah, so the ones that we have here tonight are all digital.
Digital.
Yeah.
I find the ones that we have here have both a sense of lightness plus a sense of not just mystery, but a way of playing with mystery. I find that really very interesting.
Yeah, I agree, Victor. It's from the sunlight of Savannah's piece to I feel like Kira played with kind of the brick wall that is the backdrop for the original Italian and European posters of the movie, but took it in a very different direction and had a lot of fun with it. Braden went with like kind of a superhero direction, almost like a masked identity, right? Kind of becoming the dinosaur. It was really great to see all of the ways that you can use this kind of dinosaur theme and kind of very symbolic representation to craft really fun posters.
I do appreciate the dedication to dinosaurs in all of these.
I knew that Little Fish students would not pass up an opportunity to depict dinosaurs in some form or another. right? No one was going to hear that the movie was called My Brother Chases Dinosaurs and do a straight portrait of just the brothers, right? That was not going to happen.
That's great. Yeah. And plus, there's also the superhero portion of it. So.
Exactly. And one thing I noticed in the Spanish language poster actually has he has a cape that's drawn in chalk on the wall behind him, not just the shadows that are there in the Italian movie poster. So so that naturally became one of the ones that we used a lot here at Little Fish. Dinosaurs and superheroes was very much our sweet spot.
Dinosaurs are superheroes. Come on.
This is true. This is.
I mean, Devil Dinosaur.
It's true.
That's great. And the two students who are in your class right now, will those be digital as well, or are they doing anything different?
Yeah, so we're gonna steal Curran's and because their class is just about over, and scan his in. What? It is over, and we'll scan Curran's in. He worked traditionally, so we'll scan it in and have it online for everyone to see in an online gallery for the screening of the film and afterwards. And then Annie is working digital, so she will send hers over. She's actually working, just to preview it a little bit, in a series of panels, so it's very much almost a comic book style movie poster. So it can be.
Alonzo, are you saying that some of the students are using digital media and other students are using
a pen or color pencils? Yeah, absolutely, Victor.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of my favorite things about where the comic art form is at this moment. There's no one way to work, right? There's no one way for your work to be seen, and there's no one way to approach material. You know, it's one of the things I value about our partnership is, you know, making movie posters using comic art skills is absolutely fantastic. And it's a challenge and a rewarding one every year for the students.
You know, I have to say, one of the we just saw a movie this past week, Infinite Michelangelo, and I kept thinking about you and your students throughout the whole film. But there's one portion of the film in particular that if you haven't had a chance to look at it, you and your students might really like it. It is the whole sequence based on Michelangelo's Last Judgment, because everything there is done in comic book style. I mean, I know we're talking about high art, but when you get up close to the figures that he's putting down, it's just amazing.
You know, and then, you know, I just watched the Michelangelo film this past weekend with my wife. It was beautiful. It was exquisite. That said, I can't wait for it to hopefully be in theaters next year to see it in 4K on a big screen. But yeah, I mean, there's such a natural link across human history for me, and I'm obviously a little biased, between comic books and what are traditionally called fine art forms, right? The sketches that Michelangelo and Leonardo did for the battle paintings, yeah, are called cartoons, right? We call them cartoons because they are sketches kind of coming to life and being realized. And there is such a natural link in that storytelling. For me, there's a natural through line from Michelangelo all the way to Jack Kirby and Alex Ross and Jim Lee and students now at Little Fish.
Well, I mean, I have to tell you, I see the seeds of that in just the work here. I just really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have a question for Nikita and Ariana. Is it, do you typically specialize in doing your comics and your drawings digitally, or do you switch depending on what you're inspired by, or how does that work? Do you prefer one or the other, or
I am capable of doing it both ways, but these days I do lean digitally more, just partly because of the pandemic and not being able to get out and do things otherwise, but also just partly for the ease of it. I can start it on one end, and then if I have to go somewhere else, I have a laptop I can open up and keep working that way. And there's a lot of different tools and things that I've learned how to use digitally that I can use to sort of enhance the way it's done. Whereas, like, traditionally, I do still enjoy sketching and doing art traditionally, but not so much making the pages themselves, you know?
Um, I actually switched from doing traditional art to doing digital art a few years ago, when I started high school specifically, just because I found that with traditional art, it was a little bit like with digital art, it gave me a little bit more freedom to do what I wanted, and it gave me more freedom to correct my mistakes. So it wasn't like really like solid, like on paper. I couldn't go back and like not fix them, which I really liked a lot more, because I always want my pieces to be like top-notch perfection. So I did actually switch to digital art a couple years ago, and I've also learned a lot of new tools that I can use with it and how it can help me in different areas of my life. I also kind of prefer it during the pandemic as well, just because it's easier and more accessible. I don't have many art supplies at home, and I'm not very keen on going out and buying some right now. So yeah, just because of convenience and also just out of personal preference, I just prefer digital art in general.
great, thank you. And well, you both do it beautifully, so keep
Thank
doing
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't know also if you, well, this is probably the first time that we're going to be able to really share these posters with the director of the movie and also the writer who wrote the book on which the movie is based, who is the Jack of the story. So that's his autobiography, basically. It's a story that comes out of his real family history and dynamics, and his relationship with his brother Giovanni. So I'm really excited to share this with both of them and to also hear what they say. I'm sure it will be great. I'm not sure if this puts even more pressure on your students, especially the ones who are finishing their art. But I think it's really cool to think about how someone in Italy who is also definitely in love with a different type of arts, whether it's writing or directing in movies, I'm sure they will be thrilled and excited to see how their work inspired you here across the globe and spoke to you as well, and how that created other art. So that's wonderful.
The two students that were working in class have already left, so they won't know about the added pressure. So
okay, we won't tell them.
they might have felt a tingle on their nose in the car on the way home.
Great.
Before we finish, I just wanted to also, in 2020, obviously there are a lot of challenges and there's a lot going on, but I love the way that working with the San Diego Italian Film Festival, we've been able to lean into the things that we're able to take advantage of. So having an online gallery where, like you're saying, Deanna, people from all over the world can see the movie posters instead of just the audience in attendance the night of the screening. And then also, we were able to have you and Antonio in Two Little Fish via Zoom to talk both about Italian comics culture in general, and then this movie specifically. And I think having both of you in really helped give added kind of inspiration points and kind of guideposts for students as they worked. So thank you for that.
Of course, it's always a pleasure. Thank you all. Thank you very much. So yeah, I don't know if Nikita or Rihanna, you have anything else to add or wanted to say anything else?
just to thank you guys for your time and for being here.
Thank you.
I think it's the other way around, dear. We're really glad. We're really glad to be sharing this art with you and have you share yours with us.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you again so much. I hope to see you on Sunday for the conversation with the director of the movie and the writer. And hope that also, if you haven't watched the movie yet, you'll be able to watch it definitely this weekend. And thank you again. Thank you, Little Fish.
Great. Thank you, Deanna and Victor and the San Diego Italian Film Festival. Thank you, guys.